And here I am today, I'm just at my house, and we're gonna be talking about price confidence and making sure that you are charging what you're worth. And I'm excited. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it off. I'm very excited because I love these shoes. I just wore them to a meeting. Look at these, velvet, ooh, mwah. All right, so yeah, we're talking about price confidence and the power of velvet shoes. Let's get started. But I will tell you the story. When I first started, maybe this is like you with your business and what you've been doing, is I thought, you know what, I'm gonna dip my toes in the water. And I'm just going to, maybe charge them a little bit to do some business coaching. And I would go around and say, they would say, what are you doing now? You left your job, I had a good corporate job. And they would say, oh, what are you doing now? I said, well, I'm now doing some business consulting. They said, what kind of business? I'd say, any kind of business consulting. So then the first thing I was screwing around with, they would go, well, if I know somebody that needs business coaching, I'll let you know. And I was having no clients. So I thought, first of all, maybe my pricing was wrong and I was charging people like 50 bucks an hour to help them. What was happening is I was talking to people. They said, maybe I can use your help. Maybe I can use you for something. And what they would do is say, how much is your price? How much do you charge per hour? And I would say $50 an hour. And what they would say is, what am I going to get for that $50? And not only would I have to justify what they were getting in the time spending with me, I would also have to do extra stuff around that in proposals, follow-up, all these things that would end up dropping my revenue anyways. And what I learned is that even if I went from 50 to 100, people kept asking that question, what am I gonna get for that amount? And I don't remember what I watched or I saw, but something triggered me to say, hey, rather than doing that, why don't you 10 times your rate? Why don't you just charge people 10 times there? Because that's what they're gonna be more sensitive to, because now they're gonna see you as a higher ticket offer. Because if your pricing strategy is lowest cost, you're always gonna have to drop, because there's always something that's gonna be cheaper than you. If your pricing strategy is highest value, you don't wanna be second or third place. You wanna be the most expensive option. You wanna have a competitive advantage over everybody else based on that. And if pricing's your deal, that's what you wanna look at. So right away, I went from $50 to $500 an hour, and something magical happened. People then started to go, instead of saying, what am I gonna get for that? They would say to me, well, what do I have to do to make it worth your while, make it worth my while? If I'm gonna spend that much money, what do we need to do to make sure we're doing our best with you? And it was crazy, that switch, what that did for my mindset and for their mindset. We're gonna be doing a whole bunch of stuff on mindset coming up shortly as well. Not in this video, but we're gonna talk about that. And so the mindset shift was that they would go, wow, instead of this negative reinforcing loop of what am I gonna buy from you or how are you gonna work for me, it was how do we work together? How do I make the most of your time and get value from you so we can actually do something positive? And I was reading Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets, and it popped out again, is where he was talking about pricing strategy and how to price yourself. And what he said is that when people pay, they pay attention, which is a huge idea around this, is when they pay money. When I buy something, if I know I'm investing in something, you better be sure that I'm going to make that thing work. But if I don't see value in that and I got it for a discount or I got it for a cheap rate, I'm not really going to be that much more committed to it than anything else that I buy. So that was the first, that's one of the big lessons I learned early on in my career. And over time, I've been able to raise my price, and I'm hovering around about $1,000 an hour for most of my consulting and coaching work. But again, that allows me to be as present as possible. My clients step in, they do their work, and we actually get a lot done in that time because we know it's valuable, and we have a ton of fun doing this. So that was the first thing. Another thing is I had a coach for a while when I first got started. And if you guys are in your business or whatever you're doing, if you don't have a coach right now on anything that you're doing, get yourself a coach. I've had my first coach was a business coach, and I'll tell you about him in a second. I have a spiritual coach, golf coach, every kind of coach. Get a personal trainer, get coaches in all aspects of your life, because you can't be expected to know all of this stuff. But my coach that I hired, and I'm gonna give him a shout out, Arai Beckman, I don't know where you are right now, but you're somewhere doing something really cool. I know that because I've been following your stuff. But he brought me on as a client, and initially he charged me, he was just kind of opening up space to coaching clients, and he wasn't really like a coach, but he said, I want to help people do cool stuff in their business. So the first thing he did was he he charged me, I think it was what, $2,500 US a month as a client. And the first thing I thought, I didn't have that money when I first started my business. He said, that's one option. The other option is we could double up, we could do $5,000, or if you wanted to do 10 grand a month, I'll fly you out and we're gonna go do this like cool thing we'll do on location. I thought, wow, what a great opportunity. I went, wait a minute, I'm paying you so you can fly me out. And I thought, man, what a mindset shift that I had with that, because my mind was about, well, what do I have to do in my business to work hard enough to earn the right to be a client of his at that level? Even though I know now he was making it up on the spot, but he was testing me to say, you know, I want great things for you. Money's not the issue, value's going to be the issue. As long as we create value, that's going to be there. And then one of the things that, and out of that, we worked together for a number of months, and it was hard for me to pay those bills, but and I don't remember all the stuff we talked about. He helped me get my mind around just like business stuff and where I was going and what I was doing. But the number one thing he taught me was this lesson where I went to him and said, hey, I've been saying this kind of joke about my business the last few weeks where, I'm telling people, I don't know why people pay me for what I do, because at one point they're gonna find out that all I do is sit around and talk. And I thought it was kind of funny because I'm like, why are they paying me just to talk to them? That's not a real job. And I laughed about it, but he didn't laugh. And he said, I'm just gonna stop you because it's not funny. And I said, why? Because it was coming from a place of insecurity and fear for me and like what I was trying to do. And he said, it's not funny because what does that mean to the clients that you've had, that you've actually helped them get results? What does that mean to those people that you've been able to do cool stuff with? Have you helped anybody win? I said, yeah. He said, how would they feel if you said that to them? If you told them what was on your mind? I said, well, that wouldn't feel very good. I just thought it was funny. He said, it's not funny. And here's why. And he told me all this stuff. And I thought from then on, I never minimized what I did. I always focused on, well, what's the value that we're going to create? And I worked my butt off to help my clients add that value and do that stuff. And I'm very confident in my price and being able to ask somebody. And I've hired lots of coaches, worked with lots of people over the last bunch of years to make sure that when I'm talking to somebody and I say a price, that I believe in that price because I know the value that we're going to create together, right? So think about your business and what you're offering. If you're charging by the hour, could you move to maybe more of a project-based thing where project-based pricing, where now you're getting paid for the full project and you're going to get paid for results that you help somebody create? And results can mean a whole bunch of different things, but you think about what's that value I want to create instead of how many hours do I want to work. I've learned years ago that, we don't really know. I don't know how many minutes, like if in your cable program, how many minutes of TV you watch. I don't even know how many minutes I use on my phone, but I do know per month what I'm willing to pay to have this value. So if you're charging by the hour, people start to go, well, what am I going to get for that hour? And what's the minimum amount of hours that I need to buy? They don't know. The value you're going to create for them is to say, you're here and you want to go here, and here's the stuff we need to do in the middle. I'd like to help you do that stuff. This is the value you're going to get, and this is what I want to charge you. And you look them in the eye and you be excited about that price confidence. So those two things, if you do that, make sure you're charging enough that your clients go, we're in this together. Right? And make sure that you're not minimizing your value and feeling insecure about what you're doing, and be confident in everything that you're doing. I hope that helps. Go and apply that stuff. Go be confident. Go talk to your next client and say, what's the result we need to create? Where are you now? Where are you going to go? Here's what it would cost you to solve that. Let's get to work. And when you lean into that, if we talk about some of the psychology stuff, if you lean into your confidence in your price, get right in there and be like, this is what it is, they're going to feel confident in that with the mirror neurons, and they're going to want to take action. But if you lean back, and you're way back here going, well, I think it might be this much and I'm not quite sure how it would be, and then you end up down here and you're like, what you want to do instead? You lean in and you say, this is what it is, let's get to work. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Go be confident, go be price confident. We're going to talk a lot more about mindset, and in the programs that we're running, in the group programs and the individual programs, this is a lot of what we do, is just get people their minds around, I'm awesome and this is what it's worth. Hope that helps. Talk to you soon. Confidence and making sure, damn it, all right, let's do it again. Right? I do, man, they're always in there. What's that? Usually, but now you're here and you're making me nervous. I want to go through with you real quick. I keep saying real quick, okay. I keep saying real quick all my videos. All right.